Alright, Shalawam Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI, the one to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to let men out there doing this work of faith and labor of love, truth, sincerity. Alright, and I just wanted to get into some quick edification, in reference to, I was just sitting here watching, the latest Breaking Strongholds, apostles of Great Millstone on location at the Columbia University. And on clip 2, a few points that Apostle Gabor, Apostle Ramlab, said, the statements that they made, it spoke to me, and I had some edification, just to bring out a reference, to piggyback based off of what they was saying, to give further edification, for brothers out there, that may not know of some of this information, so Lord willing, through the Spirit, this is edifying. Just go through some quick edification, a couple scriptures, and before I get into that, I'm gonna let this clip play first, so you brothers can see the point, that I was pretty much gonna bring out, piggybacking off of the apostles.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, crafty counsel. Part of that crafty counsel is universities such as this. You don't come to this university really to learn the truth. You come to be indoctrinated. Of the so-called New World Order.
That's it.
If you want,
yeah, pretty much. That's what they're looking for. See, they're looking for, first and foremost, to reprogram your mind to thinking what they want you to think, and to set your mind forward for the New World Order. But one of the main reasons they got these universities is to find the brightest minds out here to implement their New World Order, because they need future leaders, because these leaders that are set up right now that are among the so-called elite, they're getting old now, so
the college is a sifting ground.
That's it.
Would you saying it's a sifting ground for the next future leaders of this demonic, wicked so-called New World Order?
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty much what it is, So that's what they have there, because they'll find the brightest, but then they'll step to them, especially in certain colleges like Yale. They'll find the brightest, they'll step to them in hopes that they'll fall for the New World Order agenda and plan. And what they do is they promise them goods. They promise them
goodies and what else?
They promise
perks
them
of society.
They won't have to be involved in crimes. They won't get snatched up if they commit murder. They'll cover all that shit up.
All right, so as you can see, the apostles, they was mentioning, how Esau does, basically how the elites do, try to pass the torch down on, to continue their generations, as far as keeping that power structure that they have, and keep the lies that they have going, by indoctrinating, the youth of today, by picking out certain, star people to complete or fulfill their New World Order wishes and dreams, So, as far as getting into that, there's a great book, the reference as far as exactly what they was getting into. A lot of brothers are familiar with this book. It's pretty common. To eliminate the opiate by Marvin S. Anselman, which is a devil, and basically the point I want to get into about this book, like I said, it's just piggybacking off of what they were saying, so I'm gonna start at this is in chapter 7, all right, and it says the title is The Birth of Biblical Criticism, all right, and I'm gonna start here. It says Jonathan Ibershitz's first heretical crypto-Sabbatean theological seminary was in Prague when Rabbi Kagitz urged a ban on registration of Yeshaya students at Ibershitz Yeshiva. Kagitz was under the impression that his registrants were good, God-fearing Jewish young men who aspired to the independent study of the Torah and Talmudic texts. In reality, they were hand-picked students who had been recommended to the yeshiva by two-faced crypto-Sabbatean religious instructors who were dedicated and indoctrinated in Sabbatianism. All right, so pretty much you had one of these devils by the name of Jonathan Ibershitz. He wound up setting up these seminars, to recruit young, these young so-called Jewish men or whatever, to indoctrinate them, which with their doctrine, which is known as Sabbatianism, And for brothers, if you don't know what that basically is, you can easily look it up on Wikipedia. But Sabbatianism, that was basically started by, a devil by the name of Sabbatai Sevi, during the 1600s, and he had claimed to be the Messiah, and to show you how much, that the Lord made mockery of that guy, and to show you how much that he really is the devil, he wound up getting put into a situation. I'm talking about Sabbatai Sevi, wound up getting put into a situation where some claims were brought up against him, and he was forced, to either choose death or either to convert to Islam. And he wound up converting to Islam in the year 1666. So that goes to show you what that's 666, So, winding up, he had a lot of followers, after him, and that line continued on down the line. And, now we have it here, by this man by the name of Jonathan Ibershitz, was a follower of that Sabbatianism. He's trying to further the damage on down the line and indoctrinate other people with that so they can continue to pass the torch, So, going on, it says, I mentioned, this is on page 129, it says, I mentioned this background information because it was from this environment that Carl Anton emerged, a star pupil of Ibershitz Yeshiva. Okay, and just as Apostle Ramla mentioned, what they look for the stars or the highest ones, that they can seek out, to indoctrinate them.
But one of the main reasons they got these universities is to find the brightest minds out here to implement their new world order, because they need future leaders.
In a place where tomorrow's leaders are groomed.
Where did Mr. McNamara learn to row? The local sewers, I imagine. He's a townie. He won us the Ivy League championship 3 years in a row. That's all I know.
In an organization.
Are you ready to be reborn?
Where success is assured.
Our membership has its pleasures, its hardships, and sometimes its pain.
We live by the rules, we die by the rules.
And that's the point that I just read basically right here. About what emerged a star named Carl Anton. So that's what we basically get into with Carl Anton, all right? And it says, after graduation from the yeshiva, Anton converted to Christianity. He was a Frankist and occupied a chair as professor of Hebrew at Helmstedt. And, just as they were getting into, they wound up seeking out, young people to carry on the torch and putting them in these prestigious positions like these universities, being librarians, being historians, so they could continue to filter the world with their lives, man. So this is proof and evidence of, what the apostles was bringing out. And, Apostle Ramla, I believe he said, especially at universities at like Yale and stuff like that, where they would pick out certain guys and put them at these prestigious positions, and that's exactly what they did with Carl Anton here. All right. So it says, and it said real quick that he was a Frankist. Now a Frankist, being a Sabbatian or whatever you want to call it, all of those are different subgroups under the Illuminati. All right. So it says, Ibershitz's disciples had definitive objectives assigned to them so that they would play certain roles in the revolution. Carl Anton's assignment was to discredit the Bible. So they gave this star pupil of theirs the main assignment to discredit the Bible. And further on down the line, and years down the line, now we see and we understand why these devils had to remove the Apocrypha from out of the Bible, because it contains so much information that it exposes these devils and exposes more truth, and it gives us more of our history to know, that when we look at the times of now, that they applied to back then, and that everything is in sync with one another. So that was their main objective. And when you look at things around the world now, everything is built around trying to destroy the Bible. You got the House of Unconscious guys, you got Islam, all these different, subgroups and different organizations, all to what? Discredit the truth of the Bible, man. But when you look at it the other way around, the Bible doesn't come out trying to discredit anything else. It just speaks the truth. But you got everything else within the world trying to discredit the scriptures. That's how you know that we have the truth. And it says, in order to best accomplish this, no obstacle would stand in his way, such as his religion. Therefore, Anton officially converted to being a Christian so that he could hold an esteemed professorial chair. Anton's function was so sensitive and scandalous that painstaking efforts were made to obscure his activities. This is why reference to his life cannot be found in the Encyclopedia Judaica nor in the old Jewish encyclopedia. And that was another point that the apostles had brought out. That they would do things, once they appoint these guys, and if anything were to go wrong, they would cover up the information and so on and so forth like that. That's exactly what they do. Like, with the police, I believe they call like the code of either blue code or code of silence or something like that. They do something, they cover for one another, so on and so forth. That's exactly how it is when you get down with the Illuminati, and they have all your information to where, they can either blackmail you or they can take care of you, depending on if you're playing ball or not, So, going on, it says, to effectuate his plan, Anton devised a game plan to discredit the Bible in a masterly blueprint that would take about 1 century to develop. The plan went into effect as scheduled. Its essential features were implemented over a period taking nearly twice as long, for Anton could not anticipate future setbacks in the Illuminati timetable. Anton's blueprint was as follows: develop a closed circle of intellectuals whose main objective would be to destroy the Bible. So he had to what? Develop a closed circle of intellectuals. Not no dummies from off the street, but high intellectuals, that they feel as though, would welcome, the New World Order agenda, or that was down with it, And it says, number 2, these intellectuals should be mainly academicians who should occupy chairs at leading universities. Hence, exactly what the apostle was talking about, and what they're at Columbia University. They mentioned places like Yale, Harvard, all these highly esteemed Esau universities. The different organizations they got. The Skull and Bones and all these different secret societies that they have. This is why they set people up in these positions, and they have these different societies. All right, and it says, these intellectuals should be mainly academicians who should occupy chairs at leading universities, but other intellectuals would supplement their work. This intellectual group should attempt to put itself into positions where it could control the dissemination of information vital to biblical studies. Okay? This means they should gravitate to positions of authority in scholastic publications dealing with these fields, including libraries and archives. Hence why what you got the Library of Congress supposed to have, the records, of the earth going back to like 5,000 years ago, and so on and so forth. They know all the real information, but they won't tell you the truth. And that's their whole main job, is to put people in these different positions, as I said, librarians, archives, dealing with different publications, scholastic use, and all that, man. Dealing with your newspapers, your news, and all of this, you know, to feed Jake with nothing but lies, man. You know, that's why people are so destroyed unto this day, you know. And it says, all sections of Illuminati, Frankists, and fellow revolutionaries of future generations must cooperate fully to promote and enhance the career advancement of the Biblical Destruction Group, the BDG. So they set up an organization called the Biblical Destruction Group. All right, and it said that what? All sections of Illuminati, Frankists, and fellow revolutionaries of future generations must fully cooperate, okay, to promote and enhance the advancement of the Biblical Destruction Group. So this is these devils' whole main agenda, because they know that YAHAWASHI is not for them. They know the Lord is not for them. They know that we are the true children of the Lord. And their whole main job is to do everything to stay within power and to keep us out of power, you know. And if I may grab a quick scripture real quick. I was going to hold them to the end, but might as well grab it now. You know, Psalms 49:11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And you know what? They want to continue their generations forever. Just as what? As it said right here. You know, all Illuminati, they supposed to, you know, set people up to continue their future generations and enhance the advancement of tearing down the Bible, man. You know? And it says, and should apply pressure where necessary towards that advancement. Hence, you know, the apostles, they was bringing out, you know, the saying, you know, what's that, pressure from above and pressure from beneath, or something like that. You know, I might be quoting it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, pressure from above and pressure from beneath. And it says, and should apply pressure where necessary towards that advancement. And you know, they put the clip in there, you know, but I may be quoting it wrong, but pressure from above, pressure from beneath, or something to that effect. That's exactly what it's talking about, you know. And it says, BDG must be self-perpetuating. Every member must produce at least one replacement for himself in his lifetime. So that's that recruitment process, you know. And just like when they have, you know, Jake and the Illuminati dealing with the Bouye, their plan is, you know, they have to wind up recruiting somebody else. Hence, you know, you have people like Jay-Z. You know, he's a leading top Illuminati member amongst Jake. You know, he recruited people like Rick Ross, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And what you got, like 50 Cent. You know, other people like that who recruit others and put them under their wing. You know, because you got to find that replacement to continue on the enhancement of the elite's agenda. That's what it's all about. You know, and it says all media. You know, the news that we watch. You know, Fox News, CNN, you know, all this crap news, you know, and that's why we have now today where they're trying to tear down, you know, the alternative news, man, you know, and trying to stop the word from being pushed out on the internet, you know, mainly through the YouTube, you know. It says all media at the disposal of revolutionaries must be rallied to disseminate propaganda issued by any member of the BDG, okay? So they're supposed to basically, if anything is coming against the New World Order agenda, they're supposed to try to tear that down. That's why they put a stain on our name and try to make us look like we crazy. You know what I'm saying? We just some angry black guys who don't know what the hell we talking about, try to make us look like a hate group and all that, man. Their whole agenda is to tear down the truth, man. You know, but nothing will stop the truth. You know, it says, it's number 7. People who are not members of the BDG, but who seem to show an interest in pursuing anti-Bible thought should be encouraged without even their knowledge and catapulted to important positions. This will strengthen the BDG at any time in history. So it's their job to get into your minds, you know, to make you think according to their will, so that you wind up falling into their traps and their snares without you even being conscious of it. you know. But before you know it, you just hook, line, and sinker. You're indoctrinated.
You don't come to this university really to learn the truth. You come to be indoctrinated. You come to be indoctrinated of the so-called New World Order.
That's it.
If you want
Yeah, pretty much. That's what. See what they're looking for. See, they're looking for first and foremost to reprogram your mind to thinking what they want you to think, and to set your mind forward for the New World Order.
That's the whole plan of the agendas, and how, you know, they're a true devil, they're a true serpent, true deceiver, you know. And it says verse number 8, it says, as time goes on, those who accept the views that are fostered by the BDG should be in a position strong enough to destroy any academicians or intellectuals who do not conform to their ideas. Now that's why you had you know, sometime, I believe it was earlier this year, you know, you had a scientist that wound up finding you know, fresh flesh tissue within the fossil of a dinosaur. And then he said that the dinosaurs couldn't have been living those 65 million years ago. It had to have been dated to about like I forgot, like 5,000 years ago or something like that. And since he didn't conform to their ways, but he tried to actually put it out there, they wound up firing him, man. Because if you don't conform to their ways, then what? They discredit you, man. Or what? Like you know, Glenn Beck got fired from Fox News because he was putting truth information out there, you know. Whenever you try to put the truth out there, they're going to try to discredit you and make you look bad, you know, in front of the eyes of the public, man. Or for those that wind up joining the Illuminati, they wind up trying to kick up and speak out against them. You know, they have all your information to where, you know, they can blackmail you, you know. And, you know, that's pretty much it as far as that. You know, I just wanted to bring up that quick edification and hit a couple quick scriptures real quick. Just two scriptures that I have, all right, and this is Psalms 17 and 14. It says, I'll start from 13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword, from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, okay, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes. Now this is talk about, you know, Esau literally, you know, being rich within the society, having the substance of the society and passing it on to their children. But it's the same way with the knowledge of this world. Esau has the knowledge of this world. They know the truth of everything, and what? They wind up passing it down to their future generations. But, you know, so that's their riches, man. Because he who has the knowledge has the power, you know. Now we're coming into a time where we gain back the true knowledge through the power and spirit of YAHAWASHI. Therefore, we're going to take down this devil in due time. But, you know, this is still, you know, the Esau, he's at the end of his reign now. He still has power now, so he's still able to pass down that torch to a degree, but his time is running out, you know. So that's how they wind up passing their substance to their babes, you know, to the ones that they're recruiting through these different universities and things of that nature, you know. And just one more quick reference, you know, to how one thing Apostle Ramlab had said, how they wound up, you know, basically hitting, you know, them off with, you know, money and gifts and different things like that, you know, so that they wound up covering up the truth. You know, and going back into eliminate the opiate, how they put them in those high-ranking positions, you know, and they blinded by all that, you know. And this is Sirach chapter chapter 20, verse 29. Presents and gifts blind the eyes of the wise and stop up his mouth that he cannot reprove. And, you know, that's exactly what they do when you get in caught up in the Illuminati and them different groups or in them different societies. You know, they hit you with the bread, they hit you with the house or whatever gifts that they may give you, you know, so that they're in your private lives and different things like that. So they have the tools to be able to, you know, blackmail you, so you can't speak out against them. Because if you try to speak out against them, then that's going to be the end of your life. They're going to tear you down, man.
Gentlemen, welcome home.
Luke McNamara is about to get an opportunity he's only dreamed of.
Senator, it's a pleasure to meet you. What do you think of all this? To be honest, it's all a little bit overwhelming.
But if a secret society can give you everything you desire,
This is your pre-acceptance to the law school of your choice.
That's gotta be a mistake.
You are a skull.
imagine what they can take away.
None of us are safe.
What are you gonna do?
We live by the rules, we die by the rules.
I want to know the truth about what happened that night. The surveillance cameras. So there's got to be tapes. Can you get any closer on this? Closer. I know what you did.
It's time we remove Mr. McNamara. He's no longer loyal.
This February,
You keep digging, you're gonna dig your own grave.
only an elite few ever get in.
I have evidence. They erased the tape. Who? The skull. They control everything.
No one has ever gotten out.
They're dead.
If it's secret and elite, it can't be good.
And it's a good movie too. I can't remember the name of it. Lord willing, I'll post it up if I remember it or find it. But it's a movie with Tom Cruise, and you know, basically he was trying to be an intern for this law firm, or he was trying to get into this law firm. And you know, with the law firm, what he didn't know was that the law firm was really crooked. So the law firm, they wound up having bugs and wires and everything within his house. So you know, when time came, they tried to blackmail him. Once he found out how corrupt they was, and they tried to recruit him, but they found out that he wasn't down. So they tried to get they had all his information and try to blackmail him and make him look bad, you know. So that's exactly what these devils do, man. But you know, we know through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI that their rule is coming to an end. You know, with everything that's going on now, and we know that we almost home. So, you know, these devils generations, they're not going to continue. It's about to be cut short, you know, real soon, man. So, you know, with that, you know, I just hope this quick information, you know, was edifying, you know, for brothers out there. And, you know, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to Lekman out there, doing this work of faith and labor, love, and true sincerity. Shalawam, and death to America.